Hi everyone, this is Mr. Robotic Warfare. Welcome back to another episode of Dyson Sphere Program. So last time we moved over from our little production area over in the bend here to the start of our main bus. And today, we're just going to continue that. So, I'm going to push back against that, Astro. It's not lazy, it's efficient. We're all about efficiency here. Especially as somebody who's playing a factory game. Imagine calling me lazy. The nerve of some people. Okay. You just blacked out for a whole day? Day is relative. I don't know where around the international date line you are. I suppose. Also, welcome, Aggle. And Teriel, thank you so much for the follow as well. Like I said, I don't have the alerts up on screen just because that's not really how I roll. I like to just keep everything about the game, so if I miss something a little bit, I apologize. But it is in the interest of giving you better content. So, there we go, fluid storage encapsulation for the eventual oil wells that I will find somewhere on this planet. This click exclusion is kind of... I wonder if this is actually a controls thing. I wonder if there is some kind of, like, timeout that's being set. I don't know. Oh, you guys want to see if we break my computer here? Let's see what this does. Sitting cool at about 42k bit rate. And CPU at 16%. Let's see what this does. That's much nicer. We're going to see if my computer starts crying, though. Should be nicer for the stream as well. Because the stream itself should be 60 FPS, but we'll see. I killed the bitrate the other day because we were having issues with another game, so we'll see if things start complaining. I believe the correct placement for this is right here. Looks like. Very nice. Okay, so gears are connected as well now, so let's get these guys. Lack of item. The perpetual lack of conveyor belts. Gotta love it. By love it, I mean hate it. Okay, so here's this. Now, we have the distinct pleasure of figuring out what we're going to build next from a machine perspective. Now, let's give it a think. Belts would be kind of nice, because we had just made the gears and we have the machine already placed down. So let's build belts next. And then we can start working on stuff like the engines, and we can actually make a proper run for the matrices. Thermal power complete, that's kind of cool. Alright, so if we're going to make the belts next, then we need iron and gears. So our iron machines are going to have to continue on here. Like so. And our gear machine can just stay right put. And unfortunately, once again, it looks like we're going to have an item here that's going to be taking 2 per second, which means that we can only support 3 machines at the moment, which is unfortunate, but c'est la vie. Let's get this guy out of the way here. Get ourselves 3 more assembling machines. This is what I like to do because of the way that the game tends to work. In the early game, I like to have this set at multiples of 3, then later 6, etc. What is your hash speed? Why are you complaining about this? Are you hashing faster than normal? No, 60 per second. Interesting. It seems to be kind of like a 1-to-1 ratio here. So, the hash speed is not something that I've looked into the numbers a ton for, but I trusted enough to know that, at least for the early game, this is a reasonable way to go about things. Alright, so you are going to be making me transport belts. Now here's the funny thing. We're going to be making 9 of these per second, which means that a single belt is not actually going to be able to take care of this. So there's going to be somewhat of a backlog. But the idea is that we build it for expandability. So we're going to build all of the machines here. And just hope that when things happen later, they happen better. So you're going to get sorters that look like this. I'm going to need more of these to actually be allowed to build what I want to build. But in the meantime, we will do a thing that nobody likes, which are bus extensions. If I had more belts. What did I say? Never enough belts. Now, we did get 10 plasma exciters for researching the technology. That's one of the things that I love about this game. Low power, says Aglethorpe. That's a good call, but I know that because of the way that I've got things set up right now, we're at 100% satisfaction. That is a great call, though. I completely forgot what I was talking about. Oh, what I enjoy about this game is the fact that when you research a technology, you actually get some of the items from the tech. That's very nice. Not necessarily enough to actually be used for certain technologies, but it's certainly nice. Alright, let's continue doing our bus extensions here. If you're wondering why I have empty belts here, it's because I'm eventually going to have double belts of iron, copper, and magnets. The early prototypes. Yeah, I can see how there's like some kind of a lore explanation for that. Whoa. Excuse you. Alright, come on. What in the heck are you doing? There you go. Gotta connect you down here as well. Get the gears coming across, ready for this. Alpha, hello! Alright, so now this is a problem because we've got 2 people in the chat now who have Alpha in their names. So I guess I'll probably call you Wolf because the other Alpha in the chat has got a string of like a bazillion numbers after his name, so you get to be Wolf. But hello, it's good to see you. Lack of item, not for long, because we have these being made. Now, it would be super cool if you could place the one belt that's actually needed to get this setup online. That's classy. Alright. Now, here's what we're going to do. And I talked about this for a little bit, but we have these machines that are consuming 2 per second. So, no worries, Wolf. Thank you, though. So we got these machines that are consuming 2 iron per second, which means that for a belt speed of 6 per second, we can only have 3. However, these actually create 3, so we're really making 9 per second on a 6 per second belt, which is not something that we can actually sustain. So, for the interim, I'm actually just going to directly steal the output of this guy. Because we're not actually going to be using these belts for a while until we get to tier 2. Which means that, in the meantime, we just want them sticking out to a chest here. We will limit that to 10 slots so as not to consume all of the iron in our factory. But what you will notice is that we are quickly getting to a point where we are not able to place the splitters anymore. So, because of that, I'm going to switch around what we're researching here a little bit. And we're going to look to go to environmental modification. So we're going to queue you, as well as you. And in the interim, we are actually going to increase the number of these that are being made, because we're not actually drawing on this right now. So we do have to get some stone mine to make that happen. And ideally you would just actually have a machine here to do this. So, what the heck was that? Oh, I must have mined a stone that was in the stone deposit. That's kind of amusing. I should also have some excess stone over here as well. Yep, cool beans. So, that allows us to build several more of these. By several, I mean 1 more. Ouch. Lack of iron, actually, which is sort of amusing. Alright. But no one say that I don't have enough iron. Belts are being made here automatically now as well, which is fantastic. I probably don't need this many magnetic coils in my inventory, but such is life. Come on, you can do it, guys. 1 and 2. And I think, actually, we'll check really fast. Ah! So that might have been a change here. What is my actual lab vertical construction? For default is 3. Okay, good to know. Good to know, actually. And we can probably support that. However, now we see that Aggle's assertion is correct. We are having slight power delivery issues. So, we're going to go ahead and make ourselves a few of these, because we have this wonderful coal mine over here that is only being used for me to feed myself. So we can co-opt a little bit of it. Because, let's see, what's the actual consumption rate on this? Let's see. Need foundation support, eh? I don't think. Let's see. Megajoules. Here, I guess we're just gonna have to watch how this actually decides to work. I guess we'll... Oh, thank you. Bend around like so. You should all have connections, which is good. We will use the latest and greatest in sorter technologies to feed you. Now, I actually need to see how much these actually consume per second, just to do some quick math on what we're looking at here. Now, obviously, we're going to add like 6 megawatts of capacity here, which is not at all what the factory is using. Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, so your theoretical maximum rate is 2.16 megawatts at an 80% efficiency. So what that actually means is if we take 2.16 divided by 0.8, we get 2.7. I see why they did this now. So this is actually consuming 2.7 megawatts, which is 2.7 megajoules per second. And wouldn't you know, the fuel value of coal is exactly 2.7 megajoules. So that was very thoroughly intentional. What that means is that essentially this is consuming 1 coal per second. Now, you are producing 270 per minute, which is how many per second? Divided by 60. Well, 27 divided by 30. 27 divided by 3 is 9, so half of that. So we're making 45 per... No, that's wrong. Oh, this is per minute, so we actually multiply that. So, we have enough, is the takeaway here. We have enough to feed this. And if you don't want to do the math, you can just see that visually by seeing that this thing is actually shutting off for quite a while. So now you can see that our power satisfaction is much better. We have a total generation of 13.6, using only about 7. You can actually take a look at... Yeah, so you can see that we started using more here as time goes on, but with the increased generation capacity, we should be all set for now. Okay. Well, all things being equal, we can see that now our hash rate is going nice and consistently, 120 per second, because we've got both of these fed consistently with absolutely no backlog, and because, evidently, our default build height is actually 3, we're going to increase both of these by 1 layer, because we can. And the resource draw is not too bad right now. So... Waiting, waiting, waiting. There's one. And there's two. Very nice. Okay. So that should jump our hash rate up by a factor of 50% from 120 to 180 per second, because each lab contributes 60 per second. So there is our steel smelting. Now, the thing about steel smelting, has to be made in smelters. News flash, right? Now, the rate here is actually 1 per second, which is really neat, because that means that we can actually put that straight on the bus without feeling good or bad about ourselves. Now, the catch here is that I would really like to have more iron smelting capability here, because we have plenty enough to feed this. But I think we're going to just keep going until we get a bottleneck, and then we just start playing Bottleneck Buster. And that's actually kind of the way that I like to play this game, is because everything is so sensically laid out. It's really easy to just play bottleneck busting and have that be the entire way that you play your game, instead of planning everything out meticulously beforehand. Now, I betcha we're going to need foundation for that. So this is going to be incoming. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to now add steel smelting to the bus, which is kind of a hot take, but I think we can make it work. And plus it means that we can just kind of do it right here. Now the other thing that we're going to need for this, to make the concrete, is stone. If you look at the recipe here, that's going to require the stone bricks, which themselves require stone to be smelted. And we've got a nice big area of stone over here. So we're going to need to find a way to sneak this onto the bus, which shouldn't be too hard. Now, obviously stone is used for a number of different things here. So the idea is usually that you just have an area that's also dedicated to stone. So, in this instance, we are just going to do kind of an ad hoc setup. There's a lot of bootstrapping that goes on here. Just getting what we need to get what we need to get what we need, etc., etc. So, but I think I'm happy with where we're standing for now. We got 188 belts with plenty more on the way. So we'll get this set up for a 6 length. Now, unfortunately, there's some water here, which is less than ideal. Now, the nice thing here is that the spacing is the same as a normal machine, so it works with my bus setup just fine. It's just that they are less wide. So we actually have, it kind of visually looks like there's a bigger gap, but there's really not. So let's get this going here. You're going to be making me steel. And you're complaining about power, which is, you are well within your rights to do. Gotta still be careful about this placement input lag thing, which is kind of weird. So, let's see how many of these we can stick down. There's my 6, but you're not going to make it because you are a single splitter short here. Now, this seems to believe that we can actually pack them closer together, which I suppose we can, without much fear. So that is what we shall do. As soon as it decides to give me another sorter here. You can do it. There you go. This cut off here as well. I like to have an extra one going this way just for aesthetic purposes. So there is a little bit of steel production. We need to now combine that with some stone production. And there are nice big veins here, so that should not be an issue for us. Stick one right in the middle here. You can do it. There you go. Stick another one kind of in this way. That's fine. That should be more than enough for starters. And I'll tell you what we do for now is we just put come down here. We're obviously going to tear this up in a little bit, but... And by a little bit, I mean now, because I didn't realize that we're actually sticking out over there. So... plan number next is to find a different place for this. How about right here? That fits 5. Alright. Have it your way. There we go. Ample space for that. And Wolf, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time that you spent here, as well as Terrell #1. Thank you for the follow. We're going to redistribute some of these here just because we can. I love this new track so much. We'll get these guys placed down as well, just because. It saves us on a little bit of coal consumption. Very slight and fractional amounts of coal consumption, but that's what it is. Alright, so we can support this now. You coming down this way. Coming up this way. We're just going to dump it into a chest for now. Power jungle, yes. Alright. One, two, three. Kind of hard to see here. In fact, needs 6. Okay. Ooh, that might be a little closer than I thought. Nice. Okay. Well, we can't do the aesthetic thing that I enjoy doing, but it will work nonetheless. Alright, let's get this guy hooked up now. Just gonna bounce you around like so. Bounce you up like so. Get you some power. There you go. Alright. So stone is on its way now. We have steel as well. And for the time being, we're going to call this good. Such that we can start making some concrete. Very nice. Okay. The other thing that I will do now is actually put this into there. Cool. All right, so now that we have this available to us, we will start paving the world. Now let's see here. Foundation painting. I know they changed this as well. We're going to do vein berry here just because we can. What is this? Oh, we'll use decoration for now. Oh, I see. I understand how this works now. Alright. Well, let's keep on going here. Get some of this stuff left here. Alright. That's kind of a new fast row. Alright, so steel is still plentiful. We need some more of the stone here, but we got plenty of it. So let's just keep on crafting this stuff. Very nice. Okay, so bus is continuing. We got some more iron down here, which is nice. But what we're not doing right now is researching anything, which we certainly should be doing. So here's our belt number 2. That requires reds, though. So does that. So we now need to look for anything that just requires blues. Be able to get this next. Processor also only requires blues. Plasma extract refining. Still work in progress down there. But energy matrix is what we want next. I guess we can take a gander and see if any of this stuff is blues only. We can also start getting some of these upgrades here as well. Alright, well that is going to be the first blue queue here for us. At some point here we're going to have to talk about expanding our smelting operation. But we're going to make our way slowly up to logistics too and get what we need. So in the meantime, let's just do some bus extensions, because who doesn't love that? Plenty of belts to place, because we manufacture them now. And this just makes it a little bit easier later on when I come to make things properly. Alright, so we now have the ability to make graphite as well, which is awesome. Yeah, Mez, I really like it as well. I've actually made a video on this in depth about how everything works, and this is kind of the reason why I'm doing this right now, is because the turnout on that was good, so we're gonna keep going. Now, robots are very slow and very sad, so this is gonna take a while. And this is one of the interesting things about this game, right? Is that you have access to this robot building from a distance thing to begin with, and unlike other factory games, contemporary factory games rather, you don't actually have the capability of placing them manually, so you have to wait for the robots, which is kind of interesting. So, but we're quickly collecting what we need here. Should also probably get this coming under as well here. I bet you we're gonna need some area over this way for this as well, so we're gonna let's go ahead and expand that down this way for now. Oh. And eventually we will do the thing where we pave the whole planet, so 100+ hours, and there you go. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously I kind of went crazy with that mega bus, and that's not what's going to happen in this game, but it's certainly very efficient, and I like it because it's space efficient, and it's really easily expandable, especially now that they've given us the ability to automatically chain upgrade things. Right, I could just, you know, decide to come over here and upgrade everything, and it would work beautifully. So cool. Alright, well, robots are almost done with their placement challenge. Get this down as well. Munchie, hello! Yeah, the Megabus was a lot of fun. So, alright, well, we're getting things sorted here. Robots are mad at me. I've also completely eclipsed my generation capacity here, which is kind of funny. But we've got it coming up here eventually, so. Plants are filling up. Steel is filling up. Solar collection complete. Which is good because we are actually below satisfaction again, despite having all of these wonderful coal machines up here. So in fact, just to tide us over for the time being, we're going to make another one of these, because making solar panels requires silicon. But let's go ahead and install this. Once we do, we will call it an episode. Really got to get a speed upgrade going here at some point. Holy cats. Alright. Ah, you're going to complain about being in the way. I see. Well, no matter. We'll deal with you anyways. And there you go. Power, much better. Well, not much better. Better. But that's where we're going to stop it for today. So, thank you much.